Welcome! Have you ever needed to describe someone but struggled to find the right words? Maybe you wanted to point out a new colleague, describe a character in a story, or introduce a friend. Using clear and respectful language is a key skill in any language, and today, we're going to master it together. You'll learn how to describe people's appearance and personality clearly, confidently, and most importantly, politely. We'll cover 4 main areas: vocabulary for physical appearance, words for personality traits, how to be polite and avoid being rude, and finally, how to compare people. Let's begin this journey to better communication. Let's start with section 12.1, physical appearance. When we describe how someone looks, we should use neutral factual words. This helps us be clear without making judgments. We'll focus on simple categories: height, build, hair, and other notable features. First, let's talk about height. The most common words are tall, medium height, and short. For example, you could say, "My brother is very tall," or "The new team member is medium height." If you want to be more gentle when describing someone as short, you can say, "She is a bit short," or "She is on the shorter side." Let's practice. Repeat after me. He is tall, she is medium height. Next is build, which describes a person's body shape. Common neutral words are slim, average build, and muscular. For example, the marathon runner is very slim, or he has an average build. You might also hear the word stocky, which means solid and sturdy, often used to describe someone who is broad and strong but not tall. It's important to be careful with these words. Stick to factual descriptions. For example, he goes to the gym a lot and is quite muscular. Now for hair. This is a great way to describe someone because there are many options. We can talk about length, style, and color. For length, you can use long, short, or shoulder length. For style or texture, you can say curly, straight, or wavy. Some people have no hair, so you can say they are bald. And of course, there are many colors: black, brown, blonde, red, or even gray. Let's put it together. You could say, "She has long, straight, black hair," or "He has short, curly, brown hair." Let's practice. Repeat this sentence. She has shoulder-length, wavy, blonde hair. Great job. Let's move on to eyes and other facial features. You can describe eye color like brown, blue, green, or hazel. You can also mention if someone wears glasses. For example, "He has green eyes and wears glasses." Other common features include facial hair, like a beard or a mustache. You could say, "The man with the beard is my teacher." Some people have freckles, which are small brown spots on the skin. Finally, describing what someone is wearing can be very helpful, especially if you are trying to point them out in a crowd. You can be simple and direct. For example, "She is wearing a blue jacket," or "He is the one in the bright yellow t-shirt." You can also describe the style of clothing, like a formal suit or a casual dress. Now, let's combine these ideas into a full description. Look at this person. A good neutral description would be, "She is medium height with curly brown hair and wears glasses." It's simple, clear, and respectful. Now for a quick practice. I'll give you a description and you repeat it. Ready? He's tall and wears a blue jacket. She has short red hair and freckles. Excellent. Great work. Now that we can describe physical appearance, let's move to section 12.2, talking about personality. When we describe someone's personality, it's best to focus on their actions and behavior. This is more objective and polite than using strong labels. Let's start with positive personality traits. These are words that describe wonderful qualities in people. For example, friendly, someone who is nice and smiles a lot. Kind, someone who helps others. Patient, someone who can wait calmly. Hardworking, someone who puts a lot of effort into their work. Creative, someone who has many new ideas. And confident, someone who believes in their own abilities. For instance, you could say, "My new colleague is very friendly and hardworking." Some words are not strictly positive or negative. Their meaning depends on the context. Take the word quiet. Being quiet can be good in a library, but maybe not at a party. Talkative means someone who talks a lot. This can be great for a salesperson, but may be distracting for a fellow student during a lecture. Other words like this are serious, shy, and energetic. A serious person is thoughtful and not joking, which is good for a judge, but maybe less so for a children's party entertainer. An energetic person has a lot of energy, which is fantastic for a fitness instructor. Let's look at an example in a workplace. You could say, "My manager is patient and very organized. She always explains tasks clearly, and her desk is always tidy." This focuses on her positive actions. Here's another example. "My classmate is very creative. He always has unique ideas for our projects." Now it's your turn to practice. I'll give you a sentence with a blank, and you fill it in with a personality word. "My friend is always smiling and saying hello. My friend is..." That's right, patient. This brings us to a very important topic, section 12.3, polite versus rude descriptions. The language we choose matters. Our goal is to be honest but also kind and respectful. We should never use words that could hurt someone's feelings. One powerful technique is to use softeners. These are words that make a statement less direct and softer. Words like a bit, tends to, seems, and sometimes are excellent for this. For example, instead of saying "he is quiet," which can sound like a strong judgment, you could say, "He seems a bit quiet at meetings." This phrasing suggests it's just your observation, not a fact. Or instead of "she is messy," you could say, "She sometimes leaves her desk untidy." The most important rule is to describe actions, not the person's identity. Avoid negative labels. Let's practice transforming rude statements into polite ones. Instead of the rude label, "she's lazy," focus on the action. A polite way to say this is, "She sometimes submits her work after the deadline." See the difference? We are describing a specific, observable behavior. Let's try another. The rude label is, "he's bossy." How can we make this polite? We can describe the action. A better way is, "He often takes the lead in a very direct way," or "he likes to be in charge of the project." Let's do a few more. Rude. "She's nosy." Polite. "She tends to ask a lot of personal questions." Rude. "He's arrogant." Polite. "He seems very confident in his own opinions." Now, you try. How would you politely rephrase "she's stubborn"? A good answer would be, "She doesn't change her mind easily," or "she holds onto her ideas very strongly." You're getting the hang of it. Now for our final section, 12.4, comparing people. We often compare people to describe them more clearly. English has special grammar for this. When comparing two people, we use comparative adjectives. For short adjectives, like tall or kind, we usually add "er" to the end. For example, taller or kinder. We also use the word than. So you would say, "Anna is taller than Ben." For longer adjectives like patient or creative, we use the word more before the adjective. For example, "My sister is more patient than my brother." Some comparatives are irregular. For example, good becomes better. You would say, "She is better at math than I am." Let's practice. Repeat after me. "Carlos is more organized than me. My new phone is better than my old one." When we compare three or more people, we use superlatives. For short adjectives, we add est. For example, tallest or kindest. For long adjectives, we use most. For example, most patient or most creative. We almost always use the word the before a superlative. For example, of the three friends, Maria is the tallest. Or, he is the most creative person on our team. The superlative for good is best. She is the best student in the class. Let's do a quick quiz. Which sentence is correct? A. My dog is friendlier than your dog. Or B. My dog is friendlier than your dog. The correct answer is B. We change the Y to an I and add a. One more. A. This is the most good movie I've seen. Or B. This is the best movie I've seen. The answer is B, because good has an irregular superlative, best. Now let's combine everything. We can use comparisons to create a very full and detailed description. For example, Maya is shorter than Leo, but she is more confident when presenting her ideas. Leo is quieter than Maya, but he is the most organized person in our group. This gives a balanced and detailed picture. We have covered so much today. Let's do a quick review. We learned neutral vocabulary to describe physical appearance. We talked about describing personality by focusing on actions. We practiced using softeners to be more polite and avoid rude labels. And finally, we learned how to use comparatives and superlatives to compare people. You now have all the tools you need to describe people in a way that is clear, detailed, and respectful. Now, it's your turn to practice and show what you've learned. In the comments below, I want you to write 2 sentences. First, write one polite description of a person. It can be a real person or an imaginary one. Remember to use neutral words and focus on behavior. Second, write one sentence that compares two people, using a comparative or a superlative. For example, my friend has long brown hair and seems very creative. She is also a better singer than I am. Keep your descriptions kind and confident. I look forward to reading your sentences. You've got this.